Hey, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. How's your day going?
Good. Pretty good. How's yours?
Nice. It's pretty good. Just woke up like 3 hours ago. Just got some breakfast, got a breakfast burrito, and just preparing this
Wonderful.
interview. And actually started reaching out because I found out there's a movie called God's Not Dead 4. You know the God's Not Dead series?
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
do.
So I found out there's a God's Not Dead 4. So I'm very passionate about filmmaking. So like I DM'd the producer and trying to reach out to them if I can get any opportunity to like be a production assistant or intern for their
Wow,
film. So I was working on that too this morning. So yeah,
that's so exciting. That's awesome. That'd be
thanks.
really cool.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. It'll be such a great experience. Just getting because I definitely want to get more like on-set experience. So yeah, so that's why I'm trying to
Yeah,
like reach out and try to get more experience like especially after I graduate high school. So yeah.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
super cool.
so my interviews are normally like 50 to 50 minutes to an hour, but I have a lot of questions
Perfect.
prepared and I think it's gonna go a little bit over, so I was wondering if that's like okay with you.
Totally good with me.
All right, sounds good. Thanks. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I was gonna start off like how have you been overall?
Pretty good. Quarantine's been a little bit weird, obviously, for
Yeah,
everyone, but still been able to train and get together with some teammates to run. So, yeah, it's been pretty good.
nice, nice. And yeah, I just want to start off like where were you born and where are you from?
I'm from here, Southern Orange County. Um, my, I guess I was from our Rancho Santa Margarita and
Mm,
been here my whole life. So yeah,
got it. And yeah, like how's quarantine life at home? Like what you been up to and yeah, how you trying to like pass time?
yeah, it's good. I've been keeping pretty busy. I had a job at Albertsons for a couple months, so that was good to get me out of the house. I guess I didn't really have to do homework because our school made it optional, so I wasn't really doing that. But
Oh,
still
lucky.
training, still working out, working, and then just hanging out with my family. So yeah.
Nice. How's your experience working at Albertson?
It was fine. It was a little bit weird. Just obviously, some customers are crazy, and it was
Oh
really
yeah.
busy all the time. But yeah, it was good.
Mhm. Do you have those like typical like just experience as usual like with like bad customers? I know you got
Yeah,
both of them.
sometimes people would just get mad like
Uh,
about having to wear the mask or like that we were out of certain things, and they wouldn't
right.
really like understand. They're like, "Oh, why don't you have toilet paper?" We're like, "Well, we're in the middle of a pandemic, so
Exactly.
sorry." But yeah.
Got it. Got it. And how did you get into running? What was your story?
So pretty much I played soccer my entire life since I was like 4, and then I didn't really do any other sport. It was always soccer, soccer, soccer. Going into freshman year of high school, the soccer coach recommended all the soccer players to do cross country for like training, just to in the off season, just to kind of keep up our endurance. So I did it. I didn't really do I guess, the summer camp, I literally came the last week possible to cross country because I really didn't want to go out and wake up at 7:30 and run every morning. But I ended up going and I liked it. It was fun. So I ended up going through the season. I started out my first race. I ran 21:09, and then by the end of the season, I ended up making varsity. So at that point, I was like, okay, like I'm pretty good at this. Like this is kind of fun. So I still was playing soccer at that point, and in the winter, it was like the weird off season, of course, where it's like you're getting into track season, but then winter soccer season. So I was going from having 2 hour soccer practices every day to going straight to track practice. And so my mom was like, okay, you need to choose one. Like this is just too much for you. So I chose track. And so from then on, I was a full runner, and yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, it's like crazy. Like literally every single person I interview, like they have like they all play soccer. It's insane.
Oh, really?
So yeah.
That's so much. Yeah, a lot of people, most of the people on my team, I think it was like 6 out of the 7 played soccer
Right.
at some
Right.
point in
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
Like I think our like majority. I think our whole varsity team for girls and boys just played soccer.
Oh,
And then
really?
also like all the top runners in TV, they all soccer. It's crazy.
That's
So, yeah.
crazy.
So what made you go full time running? With your you've been playing soccer at such a young age and yeah, just having that love for that sport for a long time and all of a sudden just quitting and going for running.
Yeah, it honestly was a really hard choice for me because I had been playing soccer for so long, and I was like, like I love this sport, like I love my team, all that stuff. But then like the thought of like quitting running to like do soccer just made me like super sad, and I was like, I don't want to miss out on that opportunity because like I was pretty good, and like my coach talked to me and was like, we haven't seen your like full potential yet, like you're just a freshman, like you got to give this sport a chance. And so I really like thought about it, and I was like, I definitely think I have a better chance at running, and like I want to see what I can do. And I really liked how running was an individual sport pretty much, because I played soccer my whole life, which is a big team sport. You can have the best game of your life and still lose 10-0 if your team isn't there. But running, it's all up to you. It's all up to your mental state. It's all up to your physical state. So I just really liked how like I was in control of how I did. And that was something super new for me. Like if I worked really hard, like I would see the results in a race. I would see a PR. Versus soccer, it wasn't necessarily like that. So that was something really new that I really liked, and I wanted to try a little bit more. So.
Sure, that's cool. Yeah, it's like one of my friend. She's also an 800-meter runner as well, and she plays soccer for a long time for her life. And later on, she realized that like so she has more potential in soccer. And I told her like, yo, you should consider going like full-time running. Like super talented, very natural, and like you have a lot of potential and can do big things. And later she decided to quit soccer and go full-time running and just invest in that. So yeah,
that's super cool.
Yeah, I just hear a lot of stories of that too. Just seeing more like a lot of like I interview a lot of people and they talk about like how they've been playing soccer for their whole life and continue doing that in high school, but later like realizing that they can they have more potential in running and just running brings them more joy and something that just running brings out that they really want to continue and just have a just better I guess like performance out of running. So yeah. So, what would you say is like the biggest thing that changed you and taught you from your experience from running?
A lot. Oh my gosh. Probably just getting into, it was really difficult for me, like getting into the training, and I was training with like really good people. I was training with Kelly Hines and Emma Hicken and Morgan Cahagny, like super good runners who had been doing it for a couple of years at the time. And so I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Like it was super intimidating. But they welcomed me in, of course. We were a little family, but really just, it was hard at first getting into it. It's always hard when you first start a season. It's hard to get into it, get into the training, get into the pace, like getting comfortable. But once I was comfortable, it was really good. And then last year, my junior year, the last day of our altitude camp in Flagstaff, we were finishing a time trial. I was like 5 steps from the finish line, and something like popped in my hip, and I ended up like cracking my growth plate and pulling a tendon. And it was like super random. The doctor was like, I don't even know how it happened. Like it was just kind of like a freak thing. Like there's kind of nothing you could do to prevent it. So that was really hard because I lost most of the cross country season, and that was the season I was really excited for because I was the only junior in the top 7. It was all seniors except me. And so that was like we had the chance to win CIF and like battle Claremont for that title and make it to state meet and possibly even go to NXN. So that was just like really hard to miss out on that and to like let my team down, I guess, because I was like the second or third girl at the time, and just getting injured was like a big blow to the team standing. The team still did really well that year, and I was able to come back for the state meet, but obviously it was a little different outcome than we were expecting. And then, of course, that loss of that training affected my track season too, just missing out on all mileage in the peak season. So that was really hard for me to come back from, and just having that defeat of feeling like, like I missed so much because I was out running for 6 weeks. But it definitely taught me like that was kind of the season where I realized like, wow, I really do want to keep going with this in college, and I don't want to give up. And it really taught me like, no matter what, like defeats hit you, like you gotta just work your way back up. Like, yeah, you're gonna get injured, you're gonna go through hard stuff, but like as long as you fight your way back, you'll make it, and like you can do anything you put your mind to. So yeah.
Was it the injury that you told me about? Did it happen like junior year or earlier?
Yeah, it was junior year. So it was the August, like the summer of my junior year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, how did you deal with that mentally? Like it must be like super tough, realizing that you could have accomplished a lot more, especially with the team and having a lot of potential and just doing a lot of good things.
Yeah, it was really hard because since it was my hip, I literally couldn't do anything for cross training either. So I couldn't swim, I couldn't bike, I couldn't run, I literally could do nothing. Like I couldn't even do core without it hurting. So it was like really hard because not only couldn't I run, but I couldn't do anything else. And it was just hard seeing my team because they won OC champs, which was like awesome, and they did that like super well. But it was hard because I was like, I wish I could have done that with them. And then even going to CIF and realizing like, wow, if we just had 40 more points, we could have won it. Or going to state and realizing like, oh my gosh, we were that close, kind of. It was just hard because I knew if I was at my full strength and my full ability, like we could have done a lot more. But also my team was amazing, and they still did amazing. Second in CIF and third in state is still so great. So it was just pushing through mentally. My team did help a lot. They just helped me to stay focused and helped me to just like not get too hard on myself and just to focus on getting better. So yeah.
That first like couple of weeks of just being out for like 6 weeks, that's like crazy tough for you mentally and just like physically too. Like, how did you overcome that and just like, deal with that, thought and mentally?
Yeah, mentally it was a lot of just I was able to go to physical therapy, so that was good to like try to help. But mentally, I definitely was just try to be with my team still. Just even though I couldn't practice, just going to practice and being with them helped a lot. Helping my coach time their workouts and stuff was kind of a bummer, but it was also good to just be there and feel part of the team still. Definitely, like my faith helped me get through that. Just like talking to God and just knowing He had a purpose for that for sure was helped a lot. And just knowing I'd be back, like I was like 6 weeks to 6 weeks, whatever. At least I get to run again, so that was another thing that helped.
Got it. And what you see has been like the highlight, from your high school running career?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, there's so many things. Highlight. Whenever I think of like a highlight, I just think of like what fun times my team has had. Definitely the best part of my running career has been my team, and like the people that have surrounded me through it. We've just done a lot of fun things together, like altitude camp, just going to Flagstaff and just having fun for a week and running in like the most beautiful places ever. That was really fun. I was able to go to New York for indoor nationals.
Nice.
Last year, my junior year of track. So that was really fun. I went with Kelly Hines, and we just had a really fun time. Got to explore New York a little bit and also race indoor, which was very new for me. I'd run indoor before, but it was like weird being in such a big competitive space and running indoor. So that was super fun. My sophomore year in track, making it to the state meet and getting on the podium, that was for sure the highlight. That was a surreal experience for me. So yeah, there's not a lot of highlights, but those are just a couple.
Got it. What is the biggest thing that changed you and taught you, from your running experience?
Running experience, yeah. There's been a lot over the years, just like little things that have happened that have just helped me become like a better runner. Definitely the injury was a big thing for me. Just really helped me to realize like this is something like I loved. Like I didn't ever want to lose running. Like when I lost it for those 6 weeks, I was like, dang, like I don't ever want to lose that again. Yeah. So that really helped me realize like I want to do this in college. Like I'm going to do everything I can to like be my best. Like I'm going to put everything I have into every workout. I'm going to do everything I can, like core wise, strength wise. Like I want to like take this to the next level. So that was a big eye opener for me. Just kind of realizing like I really do love this. So yeah, that was probably the biggest thing, but yeah.
Right. So like during races, you get very nervous. Everybody does, and try to deal with that and overcome that. How did you overcome and deal with that like nerve and that mental side of it?
Yeah. Definitely just trusting in my training and knowing like I've trained for months for this and I can do it. Like if I can run a long run for 10 miles, I can run a 3-mile race, or if I can run 1,000 meters in a rep, I can do this 800-meter race. So just definitely realizing, like, trusting my training and realizing, like, if I worry, there's nothing I can do to change the outcome, now. Like, all I have to do is get on that line, be confident in myself, and trust my training, and execute the race plan, and then I'm going to do as best as I can. So just that mentality going into it, just walking up to the line and just realizing, like, no matter what, like I'm going to run my hardest out there. And if you run your hardest, then you can't be disappointed in yourself no matter the outcome. So yeah, that's been a mentality that's really helped me get through it.
Yeah, so like for my team, we do the same training for like cross country and track, but the only difference, of course, is like speed and workout. But like as an 800 meter, like I do 800 as well, and like all of my friends do 800. Like the thought of mine, just like, if I'm running like the 50, for cross, we're only running 3 miles and run like 40 to 50 miles a week, and running that 40, 50 miles again for track season, but only running 800 meter. Like, is your training the same? Like, or like, do you think like, well, I should just lower it down to like lower, but like more speed and high intensity?
Yeah, our training definitely gets cut. We cut our mileage in track season, but our school isn't, Mission Viejo isn't really a high mileage school.
Okay.
In cross country, we won't really, we're like average of 30 miles a week maybe. We're really not that high mileage, 30 to 35.
Okay.
Because we do a lot of speed still in cross country season. So like 4 days we'll be on the road and then 2 days we'll be on the track. 2 or 3 days a week we'll be on the track. Still working on our speed and working on pacing and stuff like that. So it definitely gets cut down. So then in track season, we'll cut it down to like maybe 1 road run a week, maybe, and the rest of the days are on the track.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so our mileage definitely gets cut a lot during track season, just because working on the speed for sure is like one of the key things at Mission. And like, yeah, we still get a little mileage in there with our warm up, cool down, and just once or twice a week we'll go on a short road run. But yeah, our mileage is definitely different, and our training's different between the seasons.
Like all of us like runners, like we have that certain time, and like, you know, when this long training, grinding a lot, sometimes feel kind of burned out and like, yo, like I don't want to go out there and today we'll go for this run and just work out. Like, you know, just really burnt out mentally and physically. You know, like during that time, like like in the months of training, how did you overcome and deal with that mentally?
Yeah. All the years I've done it, we've had a really good process of like building up and shutting it down and like making sure if we're like every week we're adding 10% mileage or something like that, so we aren't automatically at 100% mileage the first week, which I've also noticed they're doing this year for my for UCLA next year. But we definitely have like a slow build up, and then in the peak season, it's like obviously like the grind is real. It's like pretty tough doing all that every week, but it's our school did a great job of, or our coach did a great job of mixing it up and making sure, okay, like how do you feel this week? Do you feel good? Okay, we're going to do that again next week. Okay, are you a little burnt out? Are you a little tired? We're going to tone it down a little bit next week. So definitely it was just week to week. Definitely like a little roller coaster of mileage. So if it's high one week, it'll be a little lower the next. High one week, a little lower the next. So yeah, definitely just listening to our bodies and then making sure to communicate to our coach how we were feeling. And if we were feeling good, we just keep going with it.
That's interesting, just learning about your coach philosophy and just the way you like the team train, like kind of different from, you know, what I heard from like other schools. So that's cool.
Yeah. Something super. I feel like not a lot of, it's a little different from a lot of high schools in our area, but seems to work. So.
Right. What are some of the goals that you want to accomplish accomplish, you know, in terms of running?
Running, I do. So I'm. Let's see. At UCLA, I do want to make the travel team. I'd love to just like for cross country and track, but just definitely like this year, I really just want to work on being able to hit the mileage without getting injured and just taking care of my body and just like managing like my time, because obviously like the first year of college is really tough with everything and just like the new life, the new mileage, the new coach, the new team. So it'll definitely be a big change for me, but yeah, I really want to work on being able to hit the mileage and just making sure I'm taking care of myself and not getting hurt. I don't really know what that's going to look like with everything going on, if we're going to have a season or what, but definitely just want to look at the upsides and just keep training no matter what, and just pretending like everything's normal, I guess, and just training as if everything's normal. Track, I do want to break 210 in the 800. That was something I was going to try to do this year, obviously. Yeah. Didn't have the opportunity to, but that would be definitely the dream come true for this year, to break 210, and so yeah, and then eventually try to get down to like 205, but that's a big goal. But by senior year, hopefully we'll get down there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think you can definitely do it for sure. We're really close to breaking 210 in high school too, right? What is it, like sophomore year? Pretty close?
Sophomore, yeah.
Yeah. So you run like pretty low mileage until like 30s, and college is like totally different level of training. Like, are you planning to eventually go up that like high mileage, or just do the mileage that, you know, work with your coach and do the kind of like the medium level of training mileage that works for you?
Yeah, definitely talked to my coach about that. He was saying he doesn't want to bump me up too fast, because obviously that could be pretty bad for me and everything, just bumping up my mileage a lot. So we're definitely going to work on a slow increase of mileage. So this year I'm just going to add 10-20% mileage, and then the following year is the same. So we'll kind of see year to year how it goes. He's going to see how I handle the mileage this year, and then that'll kind of depend on what I do next year and the year after and whatever. So yeah, probably right now just working in the middle. I'm definitely not a high mileage athlete at all. I probably won't ever get super high mileage just because that's not who I am. But yeah, I'm definitely quality over quantity. So yeah,
Sure.
we'll just it's definitely a year thing, and I'll talk to my coach about that. So yeah.
What do you think is the biggest thing that you learned and got out of from high school running?
High school running definitely taught me a lot about myself. It helped me a lot, just like trusting in God and realizing like I literally can't do this on my own. Like this sport is so difficult and it's so hard to because you have to be mentally fit, physically fit, just so much. Just realizing like the strength doesn't come from me. Like I literally cannot do this on my own if I didn't have God with me. So that have taught me a lot and just helped me to like trust in Him a lot more and just realize like. No matter what I do, He still loves me, and no matter what happens, like His plan does prevail. Like no matter if I get injured or if I have a bad race, like it doesn't really matter. It's just all part of the plans. That's helped me a lot to just like control my nerves and just realize like that no matter what happens, like God's got me. I've also learned a lot just about like confidence and strength and just like being determined. I never really. When you do soccer, you practice like what 3 times a week. It's all team practice. It's like 2 hours. Like I literally didn't know like what it was like to have like a determination and like what it meant to actually be a real athlete. Because practicing every day for 2 hours, running, lifting, doing core, doing strength, like icing, rolling out, all that stuff I didn't know, and just it helps me respect a lot more like the other athletes around me. Like wow, like. It takes a lot to be a good runner, and even not a good runner, just a runner in general. So it really helped me to like learn, just like respect for other people, I guess, and just realizing like this is such like a grind and like what true determination and strength looks like, I guess. So yeah.
Same, likewise, like for sure, like definitely can relate as well. Like in terms of like running wise, like man, like running is like so mentally tough and hard, and just that grind and like, cause I play so many other sports too, like basketball, taekwondo, and just like soccer and like all this stuff. But definitely running is like definitely really mentally tough sport, and just like that grind and running like 6 times a week and putting all that mileage in and continue being consistent with that, and just like a lot of strength that is needed for sure. And like same as me, definitely got my strength from source from God, and just relying on Him as my strength as well, and just really tough sport for sure. So
yeah, exactly. And people are always like, "Oh, runners are so nice." I'm like, yeah, because we know how hard it is. Like
definitely.
We all respect each other, no matter if you run whatever, like 22 minutes or 15 minutes. Like everyone still puts in the work, and I think that's why runners are so nice. Because they understand the pain and the struggle.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. And we all relate together for sure. I think definitely like all the sports I played, like runners are definitely like the nicest people for sure. Just the community as well, for sure.
Yeah, it's a great community for sure.
And just like when we like passing by like other schools from other like schools around us, just passing, just encouraging each other, even though like we're opposite teams and competing each other. So I relate. The sportsmanship is really great too for running. It's really strong.
Yeah, it really is.
So what kind of legacy do you want to think that you want to lay out as a high school runner for Mission Viejo?
Yeah, for sure. As a high school runner for Mission Viejo, I definitely just wanted to leave a legacy of like inclusion and just like knowing that like everyone is welcome, kind of, and just everyone, like no matter like your age or how old, how good you are, whatever, like everyone is part of the team and everyone is included, and definitely just leaving the legacy of like running is something. It's not just like another sport. It's really a way to like grow and connect with people and connect with yourself. And definitely just the idea that like teamwork is so important. Even though it's an individual sport, you can't do it alone. You need a team, you need a community. And just like connecting that team was super important to me, whether it was the freshman team or the varsity team. Like I really wanted everyone to feel included and known. And so I hope that legacy continues that mission for sure.
I think the first couple of weeks of just quarantine, just running by myself, like really realized like, man, like running by yourself is so freaking hard.
Yeah,
I don't know how like
other
like top runners like just run by themselves, especially like female runners that are just really up there. But like just realizing that, man, like if I had like my teammates and just like just a team, it's like so much more easier and just like it goes by a lot quicker. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I totally agree. It was weird running alone at first, but now that we're able to run a little bit more, it's so much better having people with you.
For sure. What are some of your thoughts on media attention, like getting as a high school student and athlete? I'm just really curious about like your perspective and your view of just like interviews after another interviews and races and just in miles per runner space and articles and just like rankings and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely the rankings, which we always got a little disrespected in the rankings. So our school has a little bit of a little, I guess, iffy view toward it, but definitely, I don't really know. I guess I try to not get caught up in that too much about like rankings and this person got interviewed, this person got interviewed, this person's the spotlight, because I think a lot of people do it for the media, or some certain people will do it like just to get that media spotlight, but that's definitely not everything, and there's a lot of good deeds and a lot of good races that go unnoticed by the media, and so I definitely think like, yeah, it's a great tool to like see what other runners do and see certain races, but I also think it's a little bit destructive in a lot of in certain ways, so I definitely like try not to look at that too much and just kind of focus on myself and just try to do what I want and run how I'm gonna run no matter what. So yeah.
I was wondering, so like normally like every race and like people that getting interviewed you know, like maybe they get like maybe 4 interviews and a lot of them are like majority is the same question. Do you think like they should like, I know like other college sports and stuff like that, like other sports, like they're just like all the reporters, you know, together and asking, you know, the questions to like a press conference, stuff like that. Like, do you think they should do that for running? I'm just curious. Like just all the reporters interviewing one person.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I feel like they should. Might as well, right? Could try it.
Do you get like kind of like, I'm just curious, like tired or just with asking or like doing multiple interviews and just like answering the same question?
Yeah, it is a lot of the same question pretty much every time. It's like, what are your goals for the season? Like, how did you prepare for this race? Like, it's just like a lot of the same questions. So yeah, I guess it gets a little repetitive, but it also happened to me too much, so it's not too bad.
Got it. And what are some advice for 800? Like 800 is so tough, and a lot of people struggle with that, especially distance runners, just executing it. You know, it's either like kind of distance and a lot of speed and like going like all out. So like, how do you execute your 800 in the way you run?
Yeah, definitely 800 is very tough. Yeah, I like it because it's only 2 laps. I'd rather do that than 4 laps, even though it's harder. But definitely for me, I really am focused on, like, I'm good at finishing, closing at the end. I'm not very good at starting out fast. I pretty much, if I start out too fast, I die, like, really bad. So I always try to be a little bit more conservative in the first 400 just so I have a good kick at the end. So typically I'll try to get out 31, 32. Well, this is in like early season, like if it's an early season race, I'll try to get out 31, 32. Second 200, I'll try to do 33, 34. So I try to open in like about 65, 66. And then the third 200 is always the toughest to try to just push through, just try to get under 36 at that point. And then the last 200, the last 300, I guess, if I execute the first part right, I'll always have just enough in the tank to try to kick it and close in a decent time. So that's pretty much what I tried to do. This season, we were really working on getting that first 400 down a little bit more, because in order to break 210, you need to get a little bit. You need to go under 65 for that first 400. You need to go about 62, 63 to get under, so that you give yourself enough wiggle room the last 400 to get under that. So I was definitely working on opening in about 63 instead of 65, like I've been doing the last couple of years. So I didn't ever have the chance to practice that, but that's probably what I was going to try to do this year.
Got it. Do you go beast mode and tack like and go aggressive in the last 300, or is it like what point do you make that?
Yeah, it's pretty much the last 300 is where I like start picking it up, kind of like a build up into that, and then the last 200 when I see that clock or when I see that 200 mark, it's really like pick up the arms, like start swinging really hard. So I aim for the 200.
Got it. Yeah, I'm like me running like multiple like 800s. I haven't run a lot, but just like still trying to like figure out like what works the best for me. Trying to like work like just going not too slow in the first lap and like start increasing or like going fast, like a decent fast for like majority of the race. So I'm just still trying to learn as well. Well, it's tough for the 800 for sure. So
and it definitely depends on the race and who your competitors are too, because that depends a lot as well.
Right. Yeah. So going back to you're talking about your injury and how you dealt with that. Like how have you grown as a person, from that injury and as a runner as well?
Yeah, definitely just not taking anything for advantage. We all like to complain like, oh, I wish I didn't have to run today, or like, wish I could take like a couple weeks off, and just like realizing like, oh dang, like without if I actually were to take a couple weeks off, like I did miss running so much. I miss my team, like I miss everything about it. So just realizing like running actually is like something we're so lucky to be able to do. Like a lot of people can't run or like don't have the ability to. So it's just like I was like just kind of was really that helped me just to be really thankful for the sport and like everything I've been able to do and learn and whatever from it. It also just helped me realize again, like I want to do this. It helped me really want to do this in college and to fight for that even more because I wasn't, before that injury, I wasn't really sure if I wanted to do it in college. I was really struggling with like being able to like that on top of school and all that stuff. But after that injury, I really realized like I really do want to do this in college and I want to keep doing this. And it just helped me grow as a person too. Just again, like trusting God more and just realizing like everything that happens, there's a plan for it. So.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, so I've been like injured for almost 2 years and seeing like, man, like I miss running as well. Like I've been out for like
so hard.
Yeah, I've been out for like I love running so much, such a huge passion. It's my senior year, so like I ran with an injury. It was super difficult, but like this past 2 months, I've been like not running at all and like trying to stay away from any pressure from my injury from both my thighs. But like, man, I'm like definitely like don't take running for granted for sure. Just like how blessed and grateful I am to be able to be healthy and run out there without any injury, and just be more grateful and thankful for that for sure. Like telling my friends like, yo, you should not take running for granted, man. I miss it so much, and just I wonder like because I've been injured for such a long time. I'm just wondering like, man, what does it feel like to not run without pain, injury, and just like enjoy it, and but for me, like through my injury for like 2 months, like I think really God. First, I think like the first couple months of like sophomore year, I kind of like idolized running, to be honest. Like in terms of just the sport of running, following it, and also just I think every single day, like majority of the time throughout the day, just thinking about running and as a runner, and also like following it in like mile sprint runner space. So I think like really like taking away from my passion, because it's one of my biggest passions as well. So just like God taking away from that and just like having a step back and really like having a different perspective and realizing that like to trust in God more, because I think definitely the biggest thing that God taught me and I learned during this time is this season of difficulty and injuries, like just trust God more than I ever had, and able to really build my character as well, and just like mentally stronger, more patient, and just trusting God, just building different characteristics. So what do you think God taught you the most during that time?
Yeah. Definitely a lot of what you said, and definitely just realizing like running isn't everything. There's a lot more to life than just running, right? There's a lot more to life than just school. There's a lot more to life than like you as a person like are made up of so many different things. Like you can't let just one of those things define you. So definitely when I lost running, like I didn't make running my life at first, like, but I was realizing like, wow, I'm so much more than running. Like even if I don't have running, like I'm still like loved and worthy and all this stuff. So just realizing like running is something I get to do, not running is something I have to do, if that makes sense. Like I don't have to be a runner to be a person. Like I get to run, and it's a privilege and it's a blessing that I get to do that.
Sure.
Rather than like I have to do this to be like loved or worthy or all that stuff. That was just something that I really learned, and like that helped my mindset too a lot more, like with races and all that stuff, like realizing like, wow, this is a privilege that I get to go out and race today. I don't have to race today, but I get to. That really helped with my mindset, like realizing like I have a privilege to race today, and like I'm super excited that I get to race, and even if I do bad, it doesn't matter. I have another race next week where I get to try to go even harder.
For sure.
And that just really, really helped with my mindset, just realizing like this is something like it's like a blessing when I get to do it. So,
yeah, I'm just realizing that like, even like during this injury, like, because like it's been like almost 2 years and still trying to overcome it, and like mentally as well, like, why is this happening for such a long time, and I've been praying a lot about it and stuff like that, and just like I realized that like everything, even the good, even the bad things, it's all part of God's plan and His will and plan for me. So just realizing that He can use like certain like struggles and bad things for good, and really like build my character as well. Like really helped me, this injury really helped me, just grow as a person as well, in my faith spiritually as well.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So what do you like? Yeah, you're very open about your faith, as a Christian. So, like, how did your relationship begin with God? Did you grow up like in a Christian family with parents?
Yeah, I grew up in a Christian family. Been going to church since before I can remember. Been always been in small groups and like go on weekends, and I've been volunteering at my church too since I was a baby. So yeah, it's just been like a very like constant thing in my life is like God and having God in my life. Running stuff helped me develop my relationship with Him more and like deeper, and realizing like it's not a religion, it's more like a relationship, and it's definitely not just like following a bunch of rules, but it's more of just like a friendship with God, which has been really cool. Just realizing like no matter what I do, like it's just like a friend or. So yeah, kind of just my relationship.
Yeah, I definitely learned that as well. Like, kind of viewed it as, I think in elementary school, like more of a religion, but really like truly understand it. That it's like more of a relationship with God and just love and just building that relationship with Him and just serving God and serving others and with that love and just love He had for me for sure.
Exactly. Yeah, love's just like a big thing, and it's all based on love. Like as long as you love God and you love others, like. Life's gonna be so.
Yeah, it's not like about like following this rule and doing that and that. It's like doing those stuff is out of like love for God and out of service. But just truly like having that relationship with God. That's what it's all about for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
How would you say you've grown in your faith the past year?
Growing in my faith past year, definitely kind of just like developing that relationship more, and just like being a lot more honest and open with God, and just realizing like trying to like dive deeper into like what His plan is for me, and just kind of realizing like wow, like all these things, all these qualities that He's given me like has a purpose, and just kind of like there's been this like desire in my heart for a year of like I want to do more. Like I've been asking God for like a long time, like I want to do more. Like what do you like? How can you use me? And so that's just been like a big thing on my heart recently. Is like and like God's been teaching me is like there's so many like little ways to serve God and like to help like make like the world a better place, and just like loving those around, which is like basically just loving those around you, like just doing the little things and just like loving your friends and loving your family and loving your enemies. Like there's just so many ways to like make this world a better place in just like little ways. So yeah.
You said that's like the biggest thing that you're learning in your faith?
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely just like working on like love for sure, because that's like the biggest thing like that God says, like the first commandment is love. So just like trying to like work on that and like see what that actually means like practically in my life and stuff like that. So
yeah, sorry for the background noises. I think someone's doing the dishes. So yeah. So what do you say is like the biggest thing that your faith has an impact in running?
Yeah, in running, it's definitely just helped me again to like have peace like no matter what, and like working on my nerves and just realizing like everything has a purpose, and no matter what I do, like it doesn't really matter. And definitely like our team is very like we pray before every race and we like talk about God a lot, and so I think it's just like a comfort like for all of us, just knowing like no matter what happens in this race, like God has a plan, and just knowing that God pushes us through a race, God gives us the strength to get through every race, God gives us the strength to get through a workout, like the peace I feel before a race is like from God. So just like realizing like God's the reason I'm able to run, and just realizing that has been like a big thing.
Right, and yeah, just giving the opportunity just to run God and just like glorifying and running for Him. So yeah, for sure. So is there like a favorite Bible verse that like helps you a lot in running or just in life in general that really is sticking to you right now?
Yes. I really like Psalm 46:1, where it says, God is within her, she will not fall. That one I really like, and that really, I think about that all the time in races, just knowing, like, God is within me, and, like, I can do it. I can do anything. God is in me. And just knowing that He gives me the strength to, like, do everything in my life, whether that's running or anything else I do. So that's a really good one that I like.
Sure. So, a couple months ago, you were part of the campaign organization for December and just, like, advocating about fighting, for the dignity of all people and leading, to the protection and freedom of millions of people and just human trafficking as well. Can you tell me more about that and just your involvement and what made you start advocating and starting that fundraiser?
Yeah, totally. So December is an anti-trafficking organization. where basically it's like a fashion challenge. So you wear a dress every day of December to raise awareness and money for anti-trafficking efforts. So basically, when I first started, my first year doing it was my sophomore year, December. I saw a couple people at my church participating in it the previous year, and I didn't really know much about it, so I did a lot of research into it. And it turns out there's over 40 million people still in slavery today, whether that's in the fashion industry or just like marriage, like forced marriage or bonded labor, all that stuff. There's still so many slaves in the world, which really hit me because I had no idea. I was like, what the heck, this is crazy. And especially human trafficking, there's so much of that prevalent in the United States. And Orange County and San Diego and LA are a couple of the biggest hubs for it, which really surprised me.
Right.
I was like, how is this happening, like, literally in my hometown? And I'd never heard of it before. So the following year, my sophomore year, I decided to participate for the first time. So me and my friend Emma did it, and we raised over $1,000, which was pretty over our goal. We were trying to raise 700, and we raised over 1,000. So that was really cool. And then the following year, a lot more people at my school wanted to participate, which was awesome. I had a team of about 8 girls, I think, that I was leading, which was really cool because the word was starting to spread more. More people were participating. More people were learning about human trafficking and like what that actually looks like in reality. So that year we raised like maybe $4,000. So that was awesome.
For sure.
That was able to like do a lot because December funnels the money to a lot of different organizations. So like 821, IJM, like children trafficking houses, like a bunch. It was like 30 organizations that they funneled money to. So our money was able to help like people who get out of human trafficking, who are rescued from it, like get the proper like recovery, like therapy, and like lawyers so that they could fight their case and get the traffickers arrested. Because that's one of the hardest things is to like prove and get the traffickers arrested. But with our money, they were able to like get good lawyers and educate people on how to convict traffickers. And then this past year, we had a team of 10 girls, and then there's a couple other teams on my campus, but we raised over $7,000.
Oh, wow.
This was way past our goal. We had the goal to raise $4,500, and it cost $6,000 to fund a rescue mission. So just our team alone was able to fund a rescue mission to actually go out and rescue someone from human trafficking. So that was really cool to just realize like how easy it was to like make a difference. Literally by wearing a dress every day of December, like, yeah, it's hard, but whatever, we have the ability to do it. Like, we're able to actually make a difference and actually help people escape this horrible injustice. So, yeah, December is a super cool thing that's been in my life. Probably will do it for the next couple years as long as I can, just because it's such an easy way to make a difference and help educate people, too. Like, a lot of people come up to me still, and they're like, wow, like, I learned so much. Like, I didn't know human trafficking was a thing. Like, I didn't know about modern-day slavery, like, until I heard about December. So definitely, like, education is one of the biggest things about this, and just, like, trying to make sure, like, you don't stop learning, because there's so much more to learn and so much more to educate yourself about this issue, so, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely, like, you know, with those issues, and it's really sad, and that, you know, struggle in the world, and people go through that. It's not that covered and advocated that much, but just, like, you know, with that, you know, organization and, you know, educating more people and knowing more about it and just, you know, reaching those people and helping them, it's awesome. It's great.
Yeah, it's definitely the key to help.
So you talked about and mentioned that like you had a really hard time deciding between USC and UCLA. What was like the biggest thing that you know that stood out to you, say that you made that decision to finally choose UCLA than USC?
Yeah, so this was a hard choice for me because my dad went to USC. I grew up a USC fan. So that was always been my dream school since I was a little girl, is to like be a Trojan and go to USC. And then of course UCLA, I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't go to UCLA, but it was a beautiful school, has my major, like great school. So it was just like a really hard balance of like what I wanted. And so my mom kind of like, I was talking to my parents about it because I literally took me 2 months to decide. And my mom was like, well, what do you like most about running? Like, what do you like most about going to school and like running? Like, what do you like most? And I was like, the people, like,
for sure,
my team, like, what makes me want to run? And so basically, my mom was like, okay, like, then make that your decision maker, you know, like, make that, I guess, help you decide. So I thought about it, and I was like, well, at UCLA, I really felt that like team connection. They have a really big team of girls, like a really great group. It's mostly distance oriented. So they have like 20 girls on the distance team. They all run together every day. The guys team runs with them. Like just a super. They seem super close. All that stuff. And so I was like, wow, that's like what I want. USC was an amazing group too. Like all the girls were so nice there, but their team of distance girls had like 9 girls on it. They're not as strong cross country, and just like it's very sprint oriented at USC.
For sure.
So when I thought about that, I was like, wow, like I'd like. That's kind of what pushed me to go to UCLA. It's just like that team aspect and like what an awesome group they have there. Also just like my major, they have more of my major at UCLA than USC. And so that was like another big factor, of course. So it was hard to give up the Trojan and me to go to UCLA, but I'm glad I chose UCLA for sure. And even though my dad's a little mad at me, it's okay.
Yeah, UCLA is definitely a great choice too, for sure. Like amazing school program. But I think like as USC it caters both different things, in terms of like UCLA more of a distance team, and also for USC more because they don't have a boys. I realize they don't have a boys cross country team. They have like girls and mainly focusing on sprints and middle distance, which they're super strong with. So like both cater different stuff. But that's awesome for UCLA. Sure. And also this year the girls team looking really strong for distance wise with Carly DeRoss-Carr and Savannah Scriven. So yeah. Both really strong.
Yeah, they have a great incoming class, so that'll be fun.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So how was your visit for UCLA, and what was the highlight of it, and you maybe talk about just the community and the team.
Yeah, it was super fun. My host was my friend Morgan Calhagny, who went to my mission the last couple years, so that was really fun just seeing her again because I hadn't seen her in a while. So yeah, it was super fun. All the girls were so welcoming and super nice. I know a couple other girls on the team just from racing each other the past couple years, and my coach trained a couple of the girls there, so it was just fun to see everyone again. It was really fun though. We did a lot of fun things. Like I went out to dinner with the coaches, and then after a couple of the guys and the girls took a couple of the recruits to go watch the sunset on top of the cliffs, and we went to the beach one day at Santa Monica, and just it was super fun and just super chill, and was really a good representation of actually what a weekend would look like there, which I really liked, and all of my favorite things we did. So yeah, it was really fun.
Don't you have 2 teammates from Mission Viejo that's at UCLA?
Yes.
There's just one.
I don't know where from it. Just Morgan. But I raced Gwen George before. Jaden Haskins trained with my coach, and then Cassie, you just graduated, but she also trained with my coach. So yeah, there's a couple girls there who I know and have trained with, so yeah.
I was wondering, how long was that process of deciding between US and UCLA that you kind of struggled with?
It was hard, yeah. I took my last visit was UCLA. I ended up only taking 4 visits. The second weekend in October, and I didn't verbally commit to UCLA until beginning of December, so almost a month, almost 2 months took me to decide. There was also a couple other schools in the mix, and just figuring out money and stuff like that took a little bit longer to figure out. But yeah, so it took almost a month and a half for me or almost 2 months to decide. But I'm glad I took that long because it really helps me have peace with my decision and not have any regrets looking back.
Yeah. Did you go for a football game, or was that basketball game part of your visit?
I did not go to a football game that weekend because they were traveling at UCLA, so I didn't go to any sports games. I went to a USC versus UCLA basketball game though a couple months later.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, so I was wondering, do you think for seniors for track season, if they drop their times by a good decent amount, in the end of the season, for track, that their scholarship and financially they'll give more?
What do you mean, this year or next?
Yeah, for seniors, for track season, if they drop their time a couple more, that they'll help more with scholarship and give a little bit more because you ran a lot more faster time or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's kind of weird also with the 5th year thing where they're letting people redshirt. So I don't really know how the money would work. I'm assuming if a senior would run really fast right now, I'm assuming they'd get more the following year because I feel all the money's pretty much divided out evenly for the next year.
Right.
So yeah, it probably depends on the school though and where they're at and how much they're getting already. So yeah.
Have you heard back from your coach about training and the plans for fall?
Yeah, we have a training plan all the way through our report date on August 15th. So we have at-home training to do lifting and running and all that stuff. So if obviously everything's a little crazy right now with COVID, but there's like 4 different phases. So phase 1 and 2 is like actually just getting back to campus and being able to do like runs individually and like lifting in the weight room. Phase 3 would be team practicing, and then phase 4 would be actual like cross country season actually happening. So right now only phase 1 and 2 are allowed to happen. Phase 3 and 4 haven't been approved yet. So if phase 3 is approved, we would be able to go to our altitude camp in August. But if phase 3 isn't approved, then I guess we just train there for the month until it is approved, when we can start doing team practice. But it's pretty up in the air right now. We have a lot of time to report. We still have 2 months before we report. So I think they're just kind of wait and see how these next 2 months go, especially with everything starting to open back up. So yeah.
Do you think UCLA is going to open up in the fall? Like, you know,
I hope so. Yeah. I hope we're able to go and do team practice and have a season and stuff. UCLA is doing mostly online, and they reduced housing a lot, so that's like guaranteed. But the whole season's still up in the air, so just hoping that can happen.
What dining hall did you go to on your visit?
I went to B Plate.
Nice, the healthy one.
Super good. Yeah, the healthy one. Yeah, it was so good. Yeah.
That's crazy.
The foods are amazing.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I think the #1 best for sure. I love it.
Yeah.
I think like all the buffet I ate around here, definitely like UCLA's definitely one of the best for sure.
So good. Yeah.
Did you go to Genève?
I think I went, because I went on an unofficial last year, so I think I went on one of my unofficials in Genève.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So that's like the most like that's like where all the good stuff is. The junk food. Yeah.
The classic. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And it's really interesting. So it's kind of changed. Like, so, you know, I ate one of the dining halls at USC. Did you eat the dining hall at USC, or you ate the athletic dining hall?
I think it was the athletic dining hall. Okay. But I've been to the normal dining halls at USC.
Did you go to the one, like the newest one at the Village?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I realized that, like for me personally, I didn't like it. I thought it was not that good. It's really interesting because, like, yeah, I think it's really, like, bland and, like, very, there's no flavor. It's really dry.
Oh,
and it's like, there's no, like, main dish. It's all, like, side dishes, you know, for that dining hall. But I realized, like, you know, it's a private school and it's a really wealthy school. So I realized that, like, it'll be really good. But surprisingly, you know, it wasn't. But, like, you know, compared to UCLA food, just, like, totally different level. So,
yeah, it was kind of surprising though, because at USC they said they don't really eat in the dining halls because the athlete dorms have kitchens. So they said a lot of the time they'll just like make their own food and like maybe eat in the dining halls like once or twice a week, if that. So yeah, I was like, oh, it's kind of different from UCLA, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a coincidence and it's pretty cool. Like, I just realized that like a lot of my friends are so happy to go to UCLA as well. Like 3 of my really close friends from childhood, I think since like elementary school, like are going to UCLA, and like my teammate friend, you know, Jake Parker, shout out to Jake, is going to UCLA.
Yeah.
And
I know. That's cool.
And another friend from church, he's going to UCLA too. So it's strange. It's like it's cool too.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And like I know like Carly and Savannah from PV. It's not too far from Florence where I live. So and Michael Morales too. Very cool, chill person. So yeah. Wait, what are you majoring in? I forgot. Something related to bio, right?
I'm majoring in molecular and cellular bio. So.
Oh, okay. Interesting. What did you get that passion, that interest?
Yeah, I've always loved like science and math. Like I've always been a very science and math oriented person. I took AP bio last year, and I really like. I mean, I've always loved bio, but that's just like I love that class. Like super easy for me. But I love more like the genetics piece of it, and so I was like researching because I was starting like the college search. So I was like, I need to start figuring out like what I want to major in. So I started researching like genetic jobs, like how to do genetics, and a lot of it were like labs. And I was like, I don't really want to work in like a lab all day. Like I like interacting with people and like going outside and stuff. So basically I stumbled upon this career called genetic counseling. So basically it's like not a doctor, but it's basically like you do genetic tests and stuff like that, and then interpret them, and then you like are like a certified counselor, like help people through like whatever they do. So there's like prenatal or cancer or cardiovascular. So there's just a lot of different different specialties, I guess, within the career. So that really caught my interest. And one of my family friends knows a genetic counselor, so I've like been able to talk to her the last couple months. She loves her job and loves her career. So that really struck my interest. So that's what I want to do as of right now. I'm also interested in like doing like FBI, like kind of stuff like that. So that'd be really cool. So that's kind of what got me into like doing the molecular bio piece, because that is a good entryway into the graduate program for that career.
Cool,
So,
yeah. When I was in middle school, I was interested in becoming like an FBI or Secret Service. I'm really interested in
that's so cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Is that what you want to pursue, like in your life and career?
Yeah, I want to definitely pursue genetic counseling. As of right now, that's my number one. But yeah.
Nice. So in college, like the biggest things about growth and like growing as a person, like how do you want to grow as a person at UCLA, and like what do you want to take away from your experience in college and when you graduate and go into adult life?
Yeah, I definitely want to just like enjoy like my time at UCLA. Just obviously everyone says it's the last chance before like real life hits or whatever, before you have to get a real job and all that stuff. So I definitely just want to enjoy it. Like I'll be in LA, one of the best cities in the world. So just like making sure to like have fun and meet a lot of people and just do a lot of fun things while I'm there. And obviously making school a big priority too, because I want to get really good grades and do really well there. So yeah, definitely just, I feel like I won't really know until I get there, but definitely want to grow as a person. I guess just in general, and just do a lot of fun things and meet new people and just have fun. So yeah.
For sure. Have you actually been to D.D. Reese or Fat Sal's?
Yeah, Diddy Reese. I've been there. I love Diddy Reese. So good.
How about Fat Sal's? Have you heard about that?
I think I've been there.
Highly recommend. It's really good. It's like the sandwich place where like it's really interesting. Like there's all different kind of stuff in there where you can put in. It's pretty expensive, but it's like it's really big and unique. It's really good.
Okay.
And just like this
cool.
Korean like fast food place right next to it, I recommend too. Like,
oh, nice. Okay, I'll have to try that.
Have you tried like Korean barbecue?
Yes.
And like just like there's a meat that they serve called bulgogi and kari. It's like short rib Korean barbecue. It's really good. You should definitely check it out when you go to UCLA for sure.
Okay, I will.
Are you planning to doing internships while you're at UCLA, or is that too much with running school?
I don't know. I kind of don't really know yet. I'm not looking at doing anything this year. Just definitely want to focus on school and running. But I will have to like be able to get into the graduate program for genetic counseling, like intern and
oh, cool, nice.
just like work at different places. So I definitely will probably try that during the summer, not necessarily during the school year, because I don't know if I'll have time for that. But definitely just kind of leaving that for later years to figure out.
Got it. So like, who's your inspiration in life? Who would you say impact you a lot?
Probably just like there's a lot of people. I don't really have like a main person that's like inspired me throughout my life.
Okay.
There's just like a lot of people who have like come into my life that have inspired me. Like definitely like a lot of my friends just like inspire me in just like a lot of different ways. Like whether they're struggling with a certain thing or just like had a rough childhood and all that stuff. Like they just like have inspired me. When I was younger, it was definitely Bethany Hamilton. Like, I saw her, like, Soul Surfer video or movie when it first came out and all that stuff. So, when I was younger, she definitely was, like, an inspiration to me. Yeah, just, like, a lot of different people have come into my life that have inspired me in a lot of different ways. So, probably not necessarily one person, but...
Got it. Do you have, like, a favorite runner that you look up to?
I've been following Emma Coburn for a while. She's a really cool runner. I really like her. She's very... I really like her like boss lady thing. Like I love like her little group of women that all run together and just really be. So she's really cool. I really like that whole concept of like all these females running together and just empowering each other and just like being really good together. So I really like her and her whole program that she has kind of set up with that. So yeah. For sure.
Definitely based in Colorado, and recently just got Danny Jones for Colorado.
Yeah, super cool.
I know you're part of like clubs like FCA. Are you part of like any other clubs at school?
Yeah, I'm part of NHS and CSF, or I was. So just like the service clubs at my school,
right.
And then I also was the president of FCA this past year.
Nice, awesome.
So just those three clubs.
Sure, it's cool. What do you say is your favorite food and snack?
Oh my gosh, I will eat anything. I love fresh fruit though. That's like cherry on top. My go-to snack, like, is like, I don't know, I guess like fruit or crackers or like hummus. I like hummus and like veggies, so that's really good.
Nice.
Yeah, I love dark chocolate too. That's another one of my favorite foods.
Nice. Have you been to Sweet Greens? Heard about that?
Yes, I actually have.
Nice.
When I was in, I don't know, Seattle, I think, for a race, I got sweet greens. It was really good.
Nice, nice. Cool, cool. And we say it's your favorite song and artist, and like you like to listen to.
Oh my gosh, that's so hard. These are tough questions. I don't really have one. I like Frank Ocean's my all-time favorite. I like Lana Del Rey too.
Mhm.
But yeah, I listen to a lot of different types of music. Like I like country, I like pop, I don't know, I like anything.
For sure, same. And if you could have food with 3 people living or dead, who would it be?
Oh my gosh, another hard one. Oh my gosh, I don't even know. I need a lot of time to think about this one. This is a big question. With three, you said 3 people?
Right.
Oh my
Break it down to
gosh.
2. That's a little too much.
2? 2 people? I don't even know.
All right, it's all good.
I mean, I guess. Yeah, I really don't know. I mean, Steve Carell. I love Steve Carell, so probably him because he'd be really funny to have lunch with. And then I feel like I would need someone to like balance his humor. I don't even know. He would be fun. I really like Taylor Swift. I love to get lunch with her. That'd be cool.
Nice, nice.
Probably if I had to pick 2, I'd pick those 2.
Nice. Have you seen Beautiful Boy with Steve Carell and Timothée Chalamet?
Oh, I haven't. I haven't
You
yet.
should watch it. It's really good. It's really hard to watch though. It's like super hard. Like it's super sad. It's definitely a very difficult film. Like I think it's one of the most difficult films I've seen because it's about like a drug. Do you know what it's about?
Yeah, my friends briefly told me about it.
Yeah, so it's like really tough about just like a drug addict and but like it's definitely like one of the best acting I've seen. I think it's like I think the best acting I've seen is Joaquin Phoenix from Joker and Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger is number 1 for Joker, and this so happened to be playing the same character. And second is Joaquin Phoenix, and third is Timothée Chalamet for Beautiful Boy. The acting's insane. Like just the depth that he goes to, and just the emotional state is crazy. And I was really surprised that Steve Carell, like as a comedian, like I didn't know that he can really act like super serious and very emotional. So yeah, so I realized a lot of like comedians are like more open and trying to do like or like being more attached to projects that are like dramas and deep roles. So yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'll have to watch it. A couple of my friends have been telling me about it, but yeah.
What do you say is your favorite movies?
Favorite movie? I really like The Help. That is a really good movie that I really, really love. What else? I don't really watch like a lot of movies. I'm more like I watch shows, but yeah, The Help was a good movie that I liked.
So how about for shows, like what are some of your favorites, and you binging anything right now on Netflix or anything like that?
Yeah, Grey's Anatomy and The Office are my go-to favorites. Love those ones. I'm watching Dead to Me right now. It's like a Netflix show. I don't know. It's pretty cheesy, but it's a good like background show, like when you're doing something, like just having it on in the back. So.
Got it. What is that about?
It's about this woman whose husband dies in a hit and run accident, and she's trying to figure out like who hit her husband, and then she meets this like really quirky weird girl who's like trying to help her, and then it gets like really like I guess like pretty crazy, but it's like a comedy. It's like it's pretty funny. So
Got it. And what are some of your hobbies and things that you like to do in your free time besides running?
Yeah, I love to read. Kind of a nerd like that. Love to read. I like going to the beach. I like surfing. I mean, I'm not very good at it, but I'm working on it. What else? Yeah, I just like doing like going to get food or like going to get boba or coffee. I love coffee. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm always pretty busy. Keep myself pretty busy.
Got it. Yeah, I need to get into surfing. Like I've been going to beach lives. It's like it looks so cool and like want to try it out. So I do skateboard and I think like it'll be dope too. Like do those tricks. Yeah, but it looks so hard.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn how to skateboard right now, and that's really hard. But surfing, it's pretty hard. I mean, I'm not that good, so I can't really say much. But it's fun. I like just being out in the water and like sitting on my board and very peaceful.
For sure.
Out in the water. So yeah.
Nice. So speaking of like your passion for books, what is some of your favorite books that you like to listen to, or read? I mean.
Yeah, my favorite author is Jodi Picoult. I really like her books. she always writes on like really like difficult topics. So like one of her books is on like about like a school shooting and like the trial. One of her books is about a girl who has like this syndrome where her bones are like super brittle and like break like if she steps too hard or something like that. So just like kind of like that, like it's super weird topics that like no one really talks about, but she writes like really well. So I really like her. I've just been reading a lot of her books lately.
Got it. Do you know John Wooden, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I highly recommend. Have you read any of his books?
Mm-hmm.
I highly recommend it. It's so good. It's a book called Wooden and the Pyramid of Success. Because you heard about the Pyramid of Success, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, it's really inspirational. It's a big person. Like he's so wise. Like he's got like so much wisdom and really talks about. It's not a book about like mainly about basketball, but it's mainly a book about just like success and just character and building that and growing as a person, and really he's a big man of faith as well, so really implement his faith in his book. So I recommend it. It's really, you gain a lot of knowledge and just wisdom from that book, for sure.
That's super cool. I'll have to check that out for sure.
And like during this time, you know, during quarantine, you know, there's a lot of time spent time with family. And what are some things that you like to do to spend good quality time with your family?
Yeah. My family loves playing games, so we are a big game family. We have a whole cabinet full of games, so we love playing games. We have a pool in our backyard, so we like just hanging out in the pool. My sister goes to culinary high school, so she's really good at cooking. So we'll always like eat really good meals that she cooks for us, and we spend a lot of time just like chatting and hanging out over that. So yeah.
So you just have a sister, or do you have any other siblings?
I have a sister. She's going to be a junior, and then my brother is going to be a freshman next year. So I have 2 young siblings.
Nice. And is he running too?
No.
Nah.
No.
Does your sister run too?
My brother likes video games and computer stuff, so he's more into that.
What is he into, like Fortnite, Call of Duty Warzone, or Apex?
I don't even know. It changes a lot. But he got a VR headset for Christmas, so he's been into that, like Beat Saber, whatever that game is. He likes doing VR, so yeah.
Does your sister run or no?
She does, actually. She runs on her own because she can't run at her high school because they don't really have sports, because it's like a arts high school, so there's like culinary, dance, writing, guitar, I don't know, a bunch of different stuff. So they don't have team sports, but she likes to run on her own, and she'll run with me sometimes. So
that's nice. All right. Well, coming to the last question, and a deep question, what do you want your legacy to be in life?
Definitely want my legacy to be in life. I definitely want that legacy to be just like that I helped people as much as I could. My like goal in life is to just do things for other people as much as possible. Like, I have a great life, and I want to be able to use what I have to help those who aren't as fortunate, and just to like do whatever I can to help out and make the world a better place. So yeah, that's basically my legacy, is to just leave the earth better than I came into it as, and just doing that in little ways, not necessarily changing the world in a big way, but just changing the lives of those around me as best as possible.
Sure.
So
that's awesome. Well, great ending. Perfect way to end it. Well, thank you so much for your time for this interview. I really appreciate it. I appreciate this conversation, and yeah, I hope you have a great day. God bless.
Thank you so much. Thanks for interviewing me. I really appreciate it.
Sure. Well, take care. Bye.
Bye. Have a good one.
You too.